Hello everyone and welcome to another video Dvar with Rabbi Chaitovsky here at BMH-BJ. Open up the newspaper on almost any given day or week or month and you find a story about this or that leader. And by leader I mean a government leader, I mean a financial leader, I mean even a religious leader, even rabbis seem to be getting involved in moral failings. For one reason or another, they just cross a line, and whether they know it or not, whether they can control themselves or not, they make headlines, and it's always embarrassing, especially for those of us who are religious leaders. Very, very embarrassing, and we have to wonder why. But one thing we don't have to wonder is this something new? Because it's really not. The fact is, if we look at this week's Torah portion, we find precisely a story of a religious leader who crossed just such a moral line. And that religious leader's name was Zimri. And he was the leader of the tribe of Shimon. And he found himself in a situation where he was cohabiting with a woman who this week's Torah portion describes as Kozbi bat Tsur. Kozbi, the daughter of Tsur, who was one of the leaders of the tribe of Midian in that area. Now, what is going on here? This is the aftermath of the unsuccessful attempts of Bilam and Balak to curse the Jewish people, where rather than curses coming out of Bilam's mouth, praise of Israel comes out. And both Bilam and Balak are very frustrated, and Bilam has one more suggestion to Balak. He says, if you really want to get at the Israelite people, if you really want to undermine them and curse them, then you must attack their moral fabric. And he suggests that Balak conscript all of the women of the tribe, of the area, and send them out into the Israelite camp to seduce the Israelite men. Bilam knew that if he could accomplish that, then the way would be free and clear to really curse them, and God would be really angry with them. Who are the people? We already listed their names. Kozbi and Zimri. The Gamarra has a very interesting take on this story. The Gamarra says first that Balak was very reluctant. In a sense, he balked at this suggestion, thinking, how am I going to get women and send them on a mission specifically to go out and seduce people? And Bilam had a suggestion. He said, send your daughter first. And Balak says, send my daughter? He said, yes, your daughter is the princess. If the princess goes, all the other women will follow. And the Gamarra goes on to say that Kozbi, the name listed here, Kozbi bat Tsur, that was not actually her name. Her name was actually Shilvona, and she was the daughter of Balak, the king. She was the princess. Why was she called Kozbi? The word Kozbi means deceiver or liar. And we're told in the Gamarra that Balak sent her on a mission to seduce a particular person. And that person was a leader in Israel. But she lied and ended up having relationships with someone else. In fact, the Gamarra says that the person with whom she had the relationship, Zimri, actually intercepted her on her way to her original target, claiming, I am more important than that person. That person is just the leader of the third tribe of Israel, where I am the leader of the second tribe of Israel. Well, who was the leader of the third tribe? The third tribe is the tribe of Levi. That leader was Moses. The Gamarra is implying that Balak actually wanted his daughter to attempt to seduce Moses, not just the leader of that third tribe, but the leader of the entire Jewish people. The Gamarra imagines that that encounter would at least get off the ground, and Moses would be tested in this way. We'd like to think that Moses would pass the test, would resist the temptation. But the interesting thing is that Zimri gets up and says, I am more important. You want to hang out with someone? You should hang out with me. And the rest, as we know, is history. But the fact is that leaders of all stripes, in every field of endeavor, even religious leaders, are human beings. And they are tempted, and they have desires. And the task of us as human beings, the task of us as leaders, is to resist those temptations whenever they rear their ugly head. A leader in Israel did not manage to resist, and he and his consort paid the ultimate price when they were killed by Pinchas. A horrible thing, we say, but an act that the Torah seems to say was beneficial and was praiseworthy and helped keep God's anger at the Israelite nation at bay. Once again, Bilam is thwarted. But once again, we are given a lesson in the foibles of even the greatest among us. Resisting temptation is a very important thing. And we see that in this week's Torah portion. Shabbat Shalom.